Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Four of Cups. Now, I think you're somebody who is, well, you used to be, I think, much more sensitive to other people's vibes. You know, I think there was a time in your life where you really let other people get to you. And if other people had some kind of negative emotional energy, I feel like you had a tendency to kind of start to feel that way too. But I feel right now you've learned to set emotional boundaries for yourself. You learned that other people's emotional responses and reactions are not your fault. You didn't cause them. You know, the way other people feel, that is their energy to deal with. Okay, and it doesn't mean that you have to take on that energy. So I think we've kind of learned to put up a little bit of a boundary around our heart. You know, but the thing with the Four of Cups is that it needs to be a semi-permeable membrane, right? We don't want to keep out all of the energy, all of the emotional energy, good and bad, keep everything away, because then we become cold and icy, right? We become isolated. We want to keep out the negative stuff. We want to let in the good stuff, you know? And so I think that right now you're focused very much on how you've been allowing other people's vibrations, energies, and emotional stuff, right, to kind of get inside and alter your perception, alter your feelings, alter your experience. Okay, let's put this card into a little bit of context. Let's see what we are up against. We've got a Queen of Pentacles. There might be a Virgo person in your life right now we're learning how to not let them get to us. Right? Here we have the Devil energy. We've got the Universe card. We've got an Ace of Wands. An Ace of Cups in the future position. Very good. So despite your interactions with this particular person, I do feel like it's an older female energy in your life right now that we're trying to learn how to not let them get to us. And despite the energy coming in from them, I think you're able to maintain your will and your aspirations, right? There a purity in your heart and a clarity in your vision, right? We're trying not to let ourselves get distracted or swayed or influenced by this particular person. That's not an easy task, okay? Over here we have the Hermit. So another sort of Virgo reference, okay? Maybe I'd watch the Virgo reading if I were you. We have a Nine of Cups. We have the Sun, and we have the Hanged Man. I feel like this is a very important person to you, okay? It could be mom, grandma, it could be an older female in your life at work, or maybe at school, at home, a friend, a family member, whatever the case may be. I feel like they really are, they've got their own unique personality, right? And I feel like there is a lot of love there, and I feel like there is a lot of support, and we're trying to build a happy relationship with this person. Sometimes it really is about us picking our battles or deciding what we're going to really take personally, what we're going to let affect us, and what we're just going to say it's not worth it. It's not that big of a deal, you know. Well, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We do have a volunteer. But the mystery card will be over here with Alien Simon Mark Ripley until the end of the reading. we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that one, put it in the comments. We got 2 volunteers here. We got the Magician and the Death card, right? Very good major arcana energy. So we're going to put these up here as well. And I think that it's really, I think the Magician is really it. The Magician is the key to everything. The Tarot is always trying to teach you how to become a better magician. A better magician is getting the life you want. Creating a life, creating yourself and your world in a way that kind of feels like it is for the highest good, okay? The Magician is causing change in conformity with will, okay? And if you know what your will is, then you know what you have to do in order to manifest that will, right? This is where we're understanding the art and science of manifestation, yeah? And in a way, it's asking us, what are we creating? Why are we creating it? And why would we let anybody interfere with that? Why would we let our emotions be moved by anybody, whether they mean well or not, right? We're trying to build a life that is 9 of Cups. We're trying to build a life that is happy, fulfilling, rewarding, satisfying on both the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and the spiritual, creative planes, right? 3, 3, 3. That's what the Magician is really trying to do, okay? The Death card and the Hanged Man, well, now we got a lot of major arcana, right? So the Magician is trying to build that happy life, that satisfying life, a purpose-driven life, a well-rounded, like whatever you want to call it, right? Trying to build the best life for us, okay? I think there is this older female energy right now that is distracting you with their perhaps negative energy. Maybe they make comments here and there. Maybe they've just got a bad attitude. Maybe they're dealing with their own stuff, you know. The Magician has to ask, like, how is it serving my highest good for me to get upset about this person? How smart, how wise is it for me to get entangled with this person and engage with them and sort of, I don't know, sink to their level, or just to get drawn into that drama? How does it serve me to get upset by this person? So with that 4 of Cups, I feel like no matter what they do, you're trying to maintain this stability. You're trying not to let them upset you. Now, whether they do it intentionally or not, whether this is somebody that, for the time being, you kind of have to be around them, or if this is somebody that you can say, hey, you know what? It's not worth it for me to still be friends with that person, right? This is how we're dealing with people outside of ourselves that are coming up against our own beliefs and values, okay? And looking at these cards, I feel like it's mostly an emotional type of relationship, or it's some emotional energy coming from them. Maybe they're just kind of hypercritical. Maybe they're always judging. Maybe they're trying to micromanage. Maybe they're always expressing their values or trying to impose their values on you, and you're trying to be firm and steadfast and say, I'm the Magician. I've got to either adapt to this person or I've got to change this, but I have the power to direct my life. And we have to kind of remember, I'm the Magician. I can move on from this. I can evolve out of this. I can grow. I can move forward. I don't have to be stuck here. Okay? Maybe the 4 of Cups is reminding us that this relationship that you have, maybe it's a work thing, maybe it's an in-law staying at your house, or a friend staying over, I don't know. Reminding ourselves that I'm the Magician, this is temporary, I can change it, I can adapt, and if I choose, I can be the one to put the right foot forward and adapt to this situation in order to make it better, in order to improve things, to put things on the right track, or I can choose to walk away. Okay, and that really is kind of like, you've got to realize that you do have the power here. You're not stuck anywhere. Okay, so we have, anyway, a lot of major arcana. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major arcana energies, right? 7 out of 12 cards. Even without these 2 volunteers, you know, we've got 5 out of 10 here. And so that's a really that's a strong presence in your life right now. We do have fire. We've got our water, and water. We don't have any air, and we don't really even have any earth energies except for that queen, right? So, you know, who this Queen of Pentacles is, I don't know. It could be, again, it feels like an older female energy. It feels like somebody who is perhaps criticizing or imposing their worldview on us. Okay, maybe feeling as if they're imparting some sort of wisdom to us, but it's like we didn't really ask for it. It's somebody who's always freely giving their opinions about what we're doing, even though I didn't ask for the advice, I didn't ask for the opinion. And so, you know, we might just have to be in this state where, okay, you know what, I've just got to kind of tolerate it. I've got to deal with it. I've got to adapt to it and do what is going to be best for the manifestation of your best life, right? Do what's going to be good for your Nine of Cups. And it doesn't mean that we have to enable other people's behavior. It doesn't mean that we have to apologize for it or accept it. It doesn't mean that we're going to forgive them or we're going to, you know, it doesn't mean we're allowing it to happen or we're saying it's okay. We're making the right choice. We're protecting ourselves, right, with this Four of Cups. We're setting a boundary. But that boundary might just be like, you know what, I've got to just ignore it and let it go because it's not serving me to react to it. Right? It's a Four of Cups, not a Five. A Five of Cups would say, this person's coming at me and I'm getting all agitated. And it's putting my emotions into this turbulence and I don't like that. The Four of Cups is telling me that you're not letting this person get to you. Okay? You're not letting them steamroll over you, but you're not letting them win by getting the reaction out of you. Okay? You are this Ace of Wands up at the top, right? You are the flame. You are the inspiration and the illumination for others. I feel like this is kind of you taking the high road in a way. This is you kind of remembering what your vision is. You have a vision of your best life, right? And that vision of your best life, you're saying, okay, you know what? I've got goals here. I'm not going to let this person draw me into some kind of entanglement that's going to jeopardize my goal. That's going to set me back, or it's going to put me into some kind of unbalanced state. Okay, and so you're holding fast to your vision, and this is up above you on the path of the dove, which means that this is the priority. Your vision of the future, your vision of your life. The Four, no matter what, the Four is a temporary thing. Okay. It may be with the Four that I kind of use the analogy that this is like you're a sailboat. And this is a sailboat that's come into the harbor out of a storm. Okay, and we're anchored in the harbor. We're going to fix the sails. The boat's we're going to patch the holes so we're not sinking, right? And it's a temporary place of recuperation, of fortification before we set out back out to sea, right? And so this could be a situation now that it is temporary, and we know that we're going to have to kind of continue on with our journey. And this is not something that we have to endure for forever, okay? And so it might be that there are a lot of benefits to you being in this situation. This person is kind of making it a little bit more challenging for you. But overall, it could be like, you know what, I can just ignore them. This is a good place. Maybe this is a school thing, a work thing. It's like, this is where I need to be. I can't just leave because of that person, but I also can't engage with that person and be drawn down to their level and fight with them, you know. So what we do is we fortify ourselves. We protect ourselves against their energy, and the magician is going to find a way to adapt to this situation in its impermanence, knowing that this is not a forever thing. This is going to be a few days or a couple of weeks or whatever it is, and then we're going to kind of, the paths are going to diverge again, and things, you know, it's going to be different. But this is that priority. This is saying, I care about my plan, my vision, my intention. This is the intention for what you're manifesting. I care about this more than I'm upset by that person. I'm not going to let that person destroy my wish, my dream, my aspiration here. The intention for this life that we're building, okay? Because I think that it took you a long time to get right here. So we've got this universe card behind us. And maybe you've worked really, really hard. You've come a long, long way to get to where you are right now. You're not going to let this person ruin all that for you. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to just ignore them, block them from your vision, you know, block them from really being able to affect you personally through whatever way you need to, whether it's through just kind of meditation or an internal fortification, whether it's through like prayer and breathing exercises, or if it's through humor, or if it's through kindness, or if it's through distractions. Like, we're not going to allow them to push our buttons, okay? Because this long journey that you've been on already, they shouldn't have that kind of power in your life where they can sort of undo all the hard work that you've already done, right? So it's kind of like you've been climbing the ladder at work for so long, you finally got that promotion, that position that you wanted. Then there's this coworker that is making it difficult for you. Well, you're not going to let them win because you've worked too hard to get where you are, okay? So I feel like you have this ability to endure because you believe in this higher dream of yours, and that endurance is the devil energy underneath. Okay, the devil energy underneath is kind of like you've got the power. Let's just say this is the engine of the car. What's driving you? What are you going to let drive you? Aggression. It would be easy for you to destroy that person, right? Metaphorically speaking. It would be easy for you to run a different way and do something that felt better. It would also be very much within your capabilities to endure this path because you're motivated by something beyond just that issue with that person. I don't know who they are or what their problem is, but I feel like they're opposing you a little bit. They're sort of challenging they're testing you in a way, and because you care about this dream of yours, this life of yours, whether we're talking career or something personal, something creative, it doesn't matter. Your driving force is the motivation to create this best life. Okay? So this goat is being driven by that higher priority, and you're not going to let it get distracted by this person and whatever energy they're throwing at you. Okay? Your attention is your most precious currency, and you're giving all of your focus to this dream to manifest your best life. Okay? You're not going to give any unnecessary attention to this person because that's what they're looking for. That's what they want, is to drag you into their issues. Okay? The Ace of Cups in this future position, it might be really like you're showing kindness and compassion not only to yourself, but maybe to this other person too. To me, this feels like this feels like your dream is about to come true. Okay, this feels to me like you're going to be very, very satisfied that you didn't succumb to those kind of base emotions and engage with that person. There's a higher reward. See, if they come and they push your buttons, it would feel really good to react, right? It's going to feel even better for you not to react and have the real true victory of manifesting your goals. Like, you're going to feel so much better for having achieved your big priority goal than how good you would feel if you just like engaged with that person. Does that make sense? So we have a larger reward kind of coming later here. Okay, so if we can avoid giving in to that temptation, because again, with that devil card, it'd be very, very tempting, and it would feel pretty good to engage with this person, tell them what you really think. Okay, but for one thing, we don't see any swords cards, do we? But I feel like you're not communicating with this person on any level beyond like kind of just the pure professional, cordial, whatever you kind of need to level, right? Kind of just a basic level of communication. You're not engaging with an argument. You're not letting them push your buttons. You're not letting them draw you into a fight or an argument. Okay. Now, on the path of the serpent, We've got another Virgo energy, which confirms to me that it might be a Virgo person, or you at least should watch the Virgo reading. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. The Hermit energy, I think, is really another card for your protection. It's about you kind of shielding yourself from all the undesirable energy coming in. Okay? It's not that you are sequestering yourself, you're not running and hiding, you're not avoiding the conflict, but I think you're protecting your energy and you're understanding how to react, how to deal with it, how to handle people in a way that has your best interest at heart. Rather than reacting and getting drawn into a fight and then we get blamed and it's not good for us, right? That you're able to shield yourself from their emotional lure, and you're able to react as a magician that says, what is the best course of action? What's my strategy? How do I really need to behave right now in order to further my agenda of having a happy, satisfying life, right? And so the Hermit is able to find the guidance within, find the light within, and not be tempted or lured into a fight from external sources, right? You can be a hermit in a crowded room. And sometimes this is that cloak. This is that shield, right? That protects you from that negative energy or the negative vibrations. I feel like maybe it's a criticism. I feel like maybe it's somebody micromanaging or something along those lines. Okay. And of course, the Nine of Cups is the life we want. That is the pursuit of happiness. That is the following of your bliss. And I feel like the magician is right there with that, because the magician is saying, okay, I have the power to direct my energy. Now, I want to direct my energy toward my highest good, toward my best life. I want to live a happy life. Now, it would be temporarily satisfying to react to this person, okay? But it would be more beneficial to you to focus on these higher goals, okay? This person is not worth it. This person is not worth you destroying what you've already built and how far you've already come and how much hard work you've already put into this, okay? I almost wonder if this person has some kind of jealousy or envy about something. I almost feel like the more you're following your own light, the more you tend to shine out in the world. I think the more people are going to be a little bit going to be jealous, right? I wonder if that's the Sun card in this position. Because I feel like the brighter you shine, the more envious that person becomes. Your success pisses people off, right? Tough beans, You have to find a way to deal with that while you continue to work your magic and improve your life. People are seeing you shine. People are seeing you do well. And I think this person might be trying to find faults in that. And I feel like it's one person in particular, but I feel like this is a pretty good general reading for all of us, The more successful we get, the more there will be those jealous people, and they're jealous because they aren't doing it, right? And I think we're becoming aware that the more successful we become, the more confident we become, the happier we get, the more people are not going to like to see our happiness. Well, those are those miserable people that don't want to see anybody else happy. So they will find flaws. They will find something to criticize about it. We can't hide this light away. We can't then choose to not be happy or not be successful or not to shine our light because other people are going to be upset by our success. We gotta just continue on with a smile. That's going to annoy people. Other people see you smiling and laughing, they're going to get mad. I don't know why that is, and I think it's just because people feel insecure, or people feel that they have somehow lost, or that something was taken away from them. Because if I see that you're happy and that I'm not, that's not fair. I deserve to be happy, right? And yes, I believe everybody does. But we don't have the right to try to take that away from somebody else. Okay, so I think the Nine of Cups is really important too, because I think it is the success of your manifestation, whatever you're manifesting, whatever your vision is. But it's also gratitude and self-love. Okay, and your life is a magical act. Your life is a magical act. Okay, and this we have to embody gratitude and self-love. We don't want to be out there taunting other people, making fun of other people because they didn't achieve what we achieved. You know. We don't want to be out there flaunting it or boasting and stuff like that. I feel like you have a humility about you, a real humbleness, and that's part of our hermit energy here. But at the same time, you're not going to like hide away your achievements. You know, that's kind of a cliche or a trope about somebody who has a really, really big achievement. They got some huge award, and they downplay it because they don't want to upset other people. They say, "Oh, no, they just gave me a little thing at work, you know, just for a job. Well, it wasn't not a big deal, right?" And it's like, wait a minute, no, you got like the biggest reward ever. Like, this is huge. But I feel like you have a little bit of that humbleness where you try to minimize your own achievements. You try to downplay things a little bit. So it's difficult for you, I think, to just kind of step up and say like, "Yeah, I did it. You know, and I deserve to feel good about it. I deserve the rewards, you know, because I do feel like you're achieving a lot, and you need to be proud of that. You need to be humble and gracious and appreciative and compassionate to other people, and I think you are. You're not just out here showing off, but you can't help but radiate your light. And if there are some people that don't want to see you shine, those aren't your people anyway. Okay, we still want to show kindness and respect, but those aren't your people. Okay, and the Hanged Man, I think, is an interesting ending to the reading, because the Hanged Man, on the one hand, could be that you're giving up your happiness for the sake of other people, but I don't believe that's what this is about. I believe you are letting go to the reactions of other people, because there are some things in life we cannot control. The Magician is saying, there's things I can control. I can control me. I can control how I react, how I respond, how I adapt to reality, and how I can change and influence my environment. But the Hanged Man is reminding us that there are some things we just can't change. One of those things, other people. You can't change how other people react to you. But are you going to dim your shine? Are you going to downplay your achievements? Are you going to shrink down and make yourself small and unnoticeable because of the way other people might react to your success? Heck no. Heck no. So I feel that this is us accepting that, you know what, you're doing. It's like you're getting the promotion, or you're getting this good life. You're manifesting. You're getting happy. Your life's going in a good way. You're getting more successful. Things are becoming more abundant for you, and you're just riding that wave. And if people don't like it, oh well, they're barely even on your radar anymore. You know, I feel like we're letting go of that. I feel like this card is also kind of a turning around for you. Instead of being that Hanged Man where we're sacrificing our own happiness because of the reactions of others, I feel like you're the fire dancer. I feel like you are proud and you are excited and you're feeling good about your achievements. You're not boasting. You're not trying to make other people feel bad, but you're not going to hide it away either. If you want to jump for joy, you're going to jump for joy. You know, and I feel like you have a lot of reasons to jump for joy right now. The Death card to me is also this feeling like, hey, things are going to continue moving forward. There will always be growth and evolution. Okay, so if you are in this situation where this person is not really resonating with you, they're just not vibing with you, you know, and that's okay. The Death card is reminding us that, hey, that it's going to pass. You're not chained to this person for the rest of your life. Okay, it may feel that way at some time, and this is like someone you work with or a family member or something. It's just like, no, you're not going to be stuck with that person for all eternity. Things are going to grow. Things are going to evolve. You're growing and evolving in a very intentional way into your best self, into your best life. But you know what? The other person's changing and evolving too. And your paths will either come together in harmony or they will diverge, but things are not going to stay stagnant. It may feel like it. It may feel like, I'm going to be stuck with this person. I'm going to be stuck with this energy forever, but you're not. The death card reminds us that life is a process of change. The death energy is slow and steady change over the course of time. This is the nature of nature. It's the fundamental force of the universe, and it is change. You shouldn't have to force yourself to stagnate to appease somebody else. Okay? You are growing in a way that is natural to you. And if it makes other people jealous, well, okay. Reminds me of that meme, that Elmo shrug meme. Remember that one? That's always my favorite. Just, oh well, you know. Again, you're not going out of your way to make people feel bad or to rub it in anybody's faces, but you're going to accept your wins, you know, and you're going to continue manifesting this best life of yours. And I feel like we can't control the rate of other people's developments either, you know, that we can try to nudge our river in a way that is going to be for our best and highest good, but we can't do it for other people. Other people have to take their responsibility. If they're too focused on you to worry about themselves, that's an unfortunate reality. We have nothing but compassion for people. But you can't change them. You can't push them along on their river. They've got their own changes, their own evolution to be a part of. Okay? And I think you are focused more on your evolution than you are on them. So let's keep it that way, and let's keep going. Okay? Let's look at our mystery card. I don't even know. More water? Probably more major arcana. That's what I'm betting. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. Oh yeah, another devil card. So I was right. More major arcana energy. Don't fall into the trap of tying yourself karmically to that person. Don't get entangled with them. Okay, you should be focused on your growth, your evolution, your mountain to climb. They've got their own. And if they see you climbing up your mountain and you're way higher up than they are, or you're getting further faster than they are, and they have some issue with that, that's part of their journey, not yours. You don't have to slow down and wait for them. You don't have to slow down and get entangled with them or feel guilty even about you succeeding. All right? That's part of the Hanged Man. So don't let yourself get drawn into that. Don't forget what your motivations are. Don't succumb to your own desire or your own aggression. Right? Because that's kind of like we're getting off the mountain and we're going to engage over here. No, keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eyes on your Ace of Wands and on the life that you are building, because you are the magician. Okay? You get to choose where you put your energy, what you focus on. Stay anchored to your path of growth and development and evolution. The people that are meant to be in your life will come into your life. Maybe this is somebody that has to go through their own process of kind of death and rebirth, right? Their own process of suffering and sacrifice and this kind of baptism and a rebirth, right? And then maybe your paths will converge again in a different way. But right now, let them have their journey. You focus on yours. Yeah. Let's do an extended reading. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Aquarius Thursdays and Sundays. If you want to watch the extended readings at the website, go to doveandserpenttarot.com. Browse around. I've got some essays that I'm going to be putting up there pretty soon and different things going on, okay? You can also find me on Patreon. Sign up over there. Go check out my wife's tea leaf reading channel. She does zodiac sign readings with tea leaves. Ula tea leaf readings. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. The readings are free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.